My goodness, it is finally here, guys. You know this G-Wagon that went viral on Instagram and on social media for its 360-degree drift? Well, guess what? I'm standing right next to it, and it's essentially the exact same thing as a regular G-Wagon, except from certain angles, there are drastic changes. But let's talk about the positive and what I love about it. Like, just listen to the sound of this door. Oh my goodness. Mercedes can have one of the best door sounds ever. And over here, it's where the things get very cringy, because look at what they just did. Instead of having the spare tire, the traditional Mercedes G-Wagon tire, look at what they kept over here. It's all this just for your plug-in. Now, at the moment, I have mixed feelings about electric vehicles that are of this segment, especially when it comes to the Cybertruck, the Tesla Cybertruck, or the GMC Hummer EV, and now the Mercedes G-Wagon EV, well, EQ they call it. The thing of concern really would be the fact that these vehicles are heavy, and automatically that means they're not going to use the electricity efficiently as to say something lightweight like a Tesla Model S or a Porsche Taycan. For when it comes to the ultra luxury SUV segment, I actually prefer the Bentley Bentayga and the Rolls-Royce Cullinan and perhaps the Range Rover, but the Mercedes G-Wagon stands out for its classic design that has just only evolved, no drastic change really. So this is what gives the G-Wagon its own advantage. But I had pleasure of reviewing the G-Wagon myself a couple of months ago, and I have to say, I was not fazed by it. I really could not understand what the hype was all about. I mean, the door sounds amazing, the engine sounds great, except this is electric, so it's different. Now, checking out the interior of the Mercedes G-Wagon electric, well, the EQ they call it, I have to say something funny just happened, because I get inside. From the exterior, the G-Wagon looks quite massive, but when you get inside, there's something about it that feels narrow. Like, it's only now I just remarked it. And there's something about the steering wheel that just looks a bit out of place. So yeah, it's electrically adjustable, which is good. It's a bit slow, but it's fine. But then again, I'm not really a fan of AMG steering wheels, because look at this, it's so thick. It's like a mountain bike tire. Why can't they just stick to thinner steering wheels? And honestly, BMW suffers the same problem with the M package. The Volkswagen Group, they have the best steering wheels, I can confirm. Like when it comes to Porsche, all my days. But then, yeah, that's different. So, the rest of the interior is evolutionary, no drastic change really. Now they put the transmission right over there, and this is something I'm not really a fan of. I prefer having the transmission here somewhere, you know, but hey, why not? And I like how you get the carbon fiber trim throughout, as if this is supposed to try to impress you, make you think you're driving a combustion G-Wagon with the big engine. Now over to the rear seats of the Mercedes G-Wagon EQ. So, first impression everyone, you have to climb to get inside. So this is what makes the G-Wagon unique in this segment, because everybody has a comfortable interior, like a comfortable entrance really, that's what I meant to say. So something like the Bentley Bentayga, the Rolls-Royce Cullinan, and of course the Range Rover. The G-Wagon obviously started as an off-road vehicle, so that this is why they're keeping this style, and so naturally to enter, it's gonna be like entering a tank or something, or a truck. But then as you get in, the seating is great, visibility outside is great, the windows are all squarish, so this is good, this is great. Armrest over here. Are you kidding me? Okay. Now, for standards of an electric vehicle, and honestly, the G-Wagon suffers a bit of the same problem as other EVs, being that there doesn't seem to be much equipment for the rear seat passengers. You get heated rear seats, that's good, and the leather detail is amazing. But the climate detail seems very small, and the armrest over here is very basic. So electric cars have the problem of being quite expensive and at the same time not really giving much equipment, but the value lies in the electric performance. So it's autonomy and the technology itself. Whereas if you choose the combustion G-Wagon, there's a good chance you might have more equipment. I really don't know about that, but I will already point out that competitors do offer more equipment for the rear seat passengers. And of course, the boot space. So, the boot door is not surprisingly lighter because there's no wheel to it, whereas on the original G-Wagon with the wheel on it, it's actually heavier, and that's what made it special, amazing. But it's okay, doesn't matter. Now, just a little problem I noticed over here. The body paint sticks out very proudly, so you have to be very careful with it. And right here on the edge, there's the camera. So be careful not to touch this area with something heavy or with your feet for whatever reason. Yeah, because it's better if they kept the camera somewhere else. Why did they put it all the way here? Here's my conclusion of the Mercedes G-Wagon Electric EV or EQ. I'm not even sure what they call it at this point. If you're looking for an electric car with a rich history and something that looks cool, this Mercedes G-Wagon is definitely for you. But if you really want an electric car with a long autonomy and something that's more efficient with the electricity and something more city-friendly, let's say, competitors offer more interesting choices. So for instance, with the Geely Group, they have the Lotus, which they just released an electric SUV recently, and that SUV looks amazing. And then the Volkswagen Group, they have some interesting choices that are coming up. So when it comes to the Mercedes G-Wagon, it looks cool, but in my view, it suffers the similar problem as the Tesla Cybertruck and the GMC Hummer EV. These guys, they look amazing, but then at the same time, you're not really going to count on them for the performance. You're just going to count on them for the looks. They look cool, but their electricity consumption is just not going to be on par with something like a Tesla Model S or a Porsche Taycan. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos that are on the run. I will see you all next time.